Wang Lin openly manipulates the entire alliance using the secret of the 8-star royal ancient god, while simultaneously refining the slaughter sword and preparing for a world-shaking war. Secondary emotional hook: Wang Lin's loneliness, guilt, and obsession with reviving Li Muan. The corpse sect stood within the southern region of the alliance. At the very heart of that region rested a coffin. Li Yingzhi knelt before it on one knee. Her hands were clasped before her chest, almost as though she were offering a prayer. Floating in front of her was a jade that released a faint white glow. The jade itself looked utterly ordinary, common, unremarkable. Yet this single piece of jade was enough to bring catastrophe upon the alliance, enough to drive countless cultivators into madness, especially the corpse sect. Li Yingzhi carefully recounted everything that had happened after she arrived at the Four Divine Sect. Only after finishing did she raise the jade with both hands. An invisible force suddenly appeared. It seized the jade and slowly pulled it toward the sea of coffins ahead. The instant the jade approached the center, a dried and withered hand stretched out from the largest coffin and grabbed it. Black and crimson lines intertwined across that arm. The black lines were tendons. The red lines were flesh. They crossed over one another in a horrifying pattern, carrying an ancient aura, as though the arm itself had crawled out from primordial ages. The moment it appeared, an overwhelming yin energy erupted outward and swept through the region. Even Li Yingzhi could not endure it. She was forced backward several steps, yet the respect in her expression only deepened. After the hand caught the jade, an immense divine sense burst forth and entered it. That divine sense was terrifying. The moment it appeared, Li Yingzhi's face turned pale. Even her origin soul began to tremble. Within that divine sense was endless tyranny and madness. It felt as though it wished to burst out from the coffin, tear apart the stars, and slaughter all living beings. A thick scent of blood filled the air. In truth, there was no actual smell of blood. Yet anyone enveloped by that divine sense would instinctively feel as though they were drowning in it. "You, what is your name?" The message echoed from within the vast divine sense. Li Yingzhi felt like a lonely boat drifting upon raging waves. Disciple Li Yingzhi greets the third king. The beautiful woman immediately knelt fully upon the ground. Fear filled her eyes. She had never imagined that this jade would awaken the third king. The moment she recalled the legend surrounding him, her heart tightened with terror. Originally, she had believed the information within the jade would only cause a disturbance great enough to awaken the fifth king at most. She had already formed certain guesses about the corpse recorded within it. But after feeling that slaughter-filled divine sense, Li Yingzhi immediately understood. She had greatly underestimated the corpse recorded inside the jade. Not only her. At that very moment, nearly every disciple of the corpse sect within the southern region felt that divine sense descend upon the heavens. One after another they stopped whatever they were doing and knelt in worship. "You have rendered a great service by bringing this jade back. You may enter the corpse pit. I grant you the right to descend to the 6th layer and choose a corpse." The gloomy voice echoed beside Li Yingzhi's ears. Her body trembled with excitement. The thought of the legendary corpses sleeping within the 6th layer caused her breathing to grow rough. "Many thanks, third king." The cold voice slowly spread outward once more. "Do you know what corpse is recorded within this jade?" Li Yingzhi hesitated briefly before speaking carefully. "This disciple does not know clearly. However, I vaguely suspect that it may be an ancient god from primordial times." A long burst of laughter suddenly thundered through the region. The gloomy voice was clearly filled with excitement. Even the divine sense itself rippled violently with emotion. Ancient god. This body truly belongs to an ancient god. But if it were merely an ordinary ancient god, it would not matter. It is unexpectedly a royal ancient god. An 8-star royal ancient god. By the end, the greed within that voice had become heaven-shaking. Even the origin energy throughout the starfield began to fluctuate. Royal ancient god. Li Yingzhi's pupils contracted, but she dared not ask further. Summon all disciples of the corpse sect. Use the blood of the heavens to open the 9th layer of the corpse pit. Retrieve the 8 bodies. This time 8 of the 9 kings of the corpse sect shall personally move. Recall all elders immediately. My corpse sect must obtain the corpse of this royal ancient god. The thunderous command echoed throughout the entire southern region. Every member of the corpse sect heard it clearly. All of them trembled and hurriedly accepted the order. In an instant, a monstrous storm rose within the southern region. Disciple cannot confirm whether the contents of the jade are true. Li Yingji's heart shook violently. She knew the jade would shock the corpse sect. But this was no mere shock. The entire sect was mobilizing all of its strength. At that moment, panic finally appeared within her heart. If the jade truly contained real information, then all was well. But if it proved false, then the consequences she would face would be unimaginable. After all, she had been the one who brought it back. No matter. The vermilion bird divine emperor personally instructed you to deliver it here. Given his status, there is at least a 70% chance that it is true. The Four Divine sect would never casually spread false information. Doing so would be equal to mocking my corpse sect All Heaven and the remaining forces of the Alliance. However, I must personally travel to the Four Divine sect. The 2 pieces of jade were like invisible giant hands. They quietly stirred the hearts of countless people. Like an undercurrent beneath calm waters, something world-shaking had already begun to move. At nearly the same time, after Moji returned to the country of Chu Yun, the 3 jades were swiftly delivered to the other 3 great powers of the Alliance. Meanwhile, because All Heaven had ordered a ceasefire, enormous numbers of cultivators began withdrawing from the battlefield. The corpse sect also halted all trade with both sides and rapidly returned to their sect headquarters. These strange changes immediately drew the attention of the Alliance cultivators. As for the one responsible for all of this, Wang Lin remained within the Vermilion Bird Divine sect. He sat quietly beside the edge of a volcano and cultivated in silence. Beside him crouched a massive toad. Bolts of thunder continuously flashed around its body, crackling endlessly. The thunder toad seemed entirely capable of enduring the unbearable heat of the volcano. The Great War was approaching. Wang Lin knew he did not have much time left. He needed to strengthen his spells as much as possible before the next battle arrived. Only then would he have a chance to survive. At the same time, he waited calmly for the corpse sect and All Heaven to send people once more. Wang Lin was certain that the 2 different jades he had released would force both factions to seek him out. His mind was extraordinarily sharp, yet he rarely relied upon schemes. The reason was not because he lacked the ability. It was because of his previous status. Before this, no matter what schemes he used, they would only amount to small tricks. But now, with the Four Divine sect standing behind him, he could employ open schemes beneath the heavens. He had openly revealed the matter regarding the ancient god. Naturally, everyone understood that Wang Lin was plotting something. Anyone with even a little intelligence could see it clearly. Had Wang Lin not become the Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor before spreading this information, the result would have been entirely different. The news would have brought him only disaster. Whether it was the corpse sect or All Heaven, both would have immediately captured him and interrogated him by force. But now neither side possessed that option. Because there was still a third faction, they could never coexist peacefully with the cultivators of the Alliance. Furthermore, the Four Divine sect still carried the ancient prestige of once ruling the entire star system. That mysterious power alone was enough to make others fear the cost of war. This was the true reason Wang Lin dared to spread the news so openly. At the same time, Wang Lin knew clearly that his identity as an ancient god was no longer a secret among the major powers of the Alliance star system. Back in the demon spirit land, he had already displayed far too much power. Even the spell Dream of Ancient Times had appeared. Wang Lin refused to believe that no one had formed suspicions or guesses, and this was also one of the primary reasons he had agreed so easily to accompany the old Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. Had he refused then, with his severe injuries, even taking a single step would have been difficult. He would have faced endless pursuit day and night. Sooner or later, he would have been captured. Because of this, the news he spread regarding Tuo Sen became even more convincing. Besides, there was no need to fabricate anything. Once they reached the land of the ancient god on planet Suzaku, they would instantly know whether everything was true. All Heaven, the Corpse Sect, the Cultivation Alliance. Wang Lin silently pondered. I wonder whether these three forces can deal with Tuo Sen. After a moment, he stopped thinking about it. In truth, luring the three great forces toward planet Suzaku was only the first step of his plan. He still possessed another method, one that was absolutely certain. Wang Lin slowly inhaled and lifted his gaze toward the thunder toad nearby. The toad appeared asleep, yet strands of fire origin energy continuously entered its body. After arriving at the four divine sect, Wang Lin had released both the thunder toad and the mosquito beast, allowing them to cultivate freely on their own. Yesterday, the thunder toad had returned from the black tortoise divine sect after locating Wang Lin through their connection. The mosquito beast should have arrived already. Why has it not come to find me? Wang Lin frowned slightly. The elders of the Azure Dragon divine sect said they saw it leave before they did. Even if the mosquito beast is slower than the elders, it still should have arrived by now. He pondered silently for a while before suppressing the doubt in his heart. Forget it. Perhaps the mosquito beast became playful and delayed itself for a few days. Wang Lin formed a seal with one hand and pointed toward his own body. A strange redness immediately spread across his face. Hidden pain appeared within his expression. With Wang Lin's mastery over fire origin energy, almost no heat beneath the heavens could make him uncomfortable. Even less could force sweat from his body. Yet at this moment, large beads of sweat slowly formed across his forehead. After a very long time, Wang Lin exhaled a mouthful of foul air. A red flash flickered. Then a broken sword was slowly forced out from his chest. The broken sword was entirely crimson. The instant it appeared, a monstrous aura of slaughter erupted into the heavens. The killing intent was so overwhelming that it surged out from the planet itself. Even the endless flames surrounding the world froze for a moment, forced back by the terrifying slaughter energy. This broken sword was the true source of the grey-robed All-Seer's slaughter energy. After the battle within the demon spirit land, the remaining half had stayed inside Wang Lin's body. During these past 3 years, while healing and cultivating, he had also been refining this sword little by little. The fragment once hidden within his origin soul had already dissipated. Only this broken sword remained. After refining it for 3 years, I have finally gained a basic understanding. Once I completely refine this sword, I can cultivate the celestial slaughter art again without danger. Even after reaching 1 million strands of slaughter energy, my body will no longer collapse. Wang Lin had never forgotten that slaughter energy. He had cultivated it for many years and reached an extremely high level. Back then, with the help of ancient demon Bei Lu, he finally understood the true danger hidden within the celestial slaughter art. If he had continued cultivating it, his body would eventually have collapsed completely and transformed into a strand of pure slaughter energy. At that point, he would no longer belong to himself. He would become something owned by the grey-robed All-Seer. In the end, he had no choice but to abandon it. Even so, regret had always remained in his heart. But now, as Wang Lin stared at the broken crimson sword before him, that regret slowly disappeared. Flame suddenly appeared within his right eye. A vast sea of fire spread outward and wrapped around the broken sword, slowly burning it. As the flames roared, Wang Lin formed a seal with his right hand and pointed between his brows. His ancient thunder dragon origin soul flew out and opened its mouth, spitting out a stream of essence origin energy. At the same time, Wang Lin's second origin soul formed from the 9 mysterious transformation, also opened its eyes and spat out another stream of essence origin energy. The power of thunder and fire origin essence instantly merged together. The moment it touched the flames surrounding the sword, the fire exploded violently. As though oil had been poured onto an inferno, thunderous rumbles echoed endlessly. The edges of the broken sword finally began to melt. Yet at that same moment, Icy slaughter energy erupted from within the blade, resisting the flames with all its strength. Wang Lin was already familiar with this scene. Every attempt to refine the sword had always ended the same way. But today he had no time to waste. He had to refine this sword completely and make it his own. Only then could he cultivate the celestial slaughter art once more. After all, it was an extraordinarily powerful defensive divine ability. Before completing the first transformation, Wang Lin would never have dared attempt this. But now he possessed 70% confidence. He withdrew his gaze from the sword and took a deep breath. Both hands formed seals. The flames inside his right eye suddenly intensified. Blazing so fiercely, they seemed capable of igniting the heavens themselves. Wang Lin pointed toward the sky. His second origin soul mirrored the same action. At that instant, an unimaginable force of fire burst from Wang Lin's origin soul. It surged through his right hand and transformed into a boundless sea of flames that covered the heavens. Flames, gather. Wang Lin's voice was low and cold. The moment he spoke, every trace of fire origin energy upon the planet trembled violently and rushed toward him. It was not only this cultivation planet. Even the burning starfield surrounding it responded to his call. Countless streams of fire origin energy gathered rapidly. Wang Lin pointed toward the broken sword. The gathered fire essence roared forward and crashed into the blade. Immediately, the speed of its melting increased several times over. But in response, the slaughter energy erupting from the sword also grew stronger, resisting the fire with savage intensity. Wang Lin stared silently at the broken sword. Then his right eye flashed. The second origin soul hidden within the ancient thunder dragon suddenly rushed out from Wang Lin's right eye and lunged directly at the sword. At the same instant, Wang Lin formed another seal and spat out an object. The 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. Magic Arsenal, Master Void, All-Seer, appear. As Wang Lin spoke, he waved his right hand. Countless specks of light surrounded the sealing stamp. The light rapidly gathered together and formed two figures. Master Void and the fused All-Seer formed from the two avatars. The moment the two trapped souls appeared, they immediately rushed toward the broken sword. Together with Wang Lin's second origin soul, they surrounded the blade and assisted in refining it. At the same time, Wang Lin raised his left hand and pressed down toward the volcano beneath him. The volcano trembled violently. Black smoke thickened. A terrifying wave of heat burst out from within. Crimson lava surged upward alongside the heat wave. But with a single wave of Wang Lin's hand, the magma flowed like water and wrapped around the broken sword, forming a sphere of lava 100 feet wide. The temperature within instantly rose to an even more horrifying degree. This time, Wang Lin was willing to pay any price to completely refine the slaughter sword left behind by the grey-robed All-Seer. He was using everything. His second origin soul, Master Void, All-Seer, the fire origin energy of the world itself, and finally this sea of lava forming an outer shell to accelerate the refining process. Wang Lin sat beneath the 100-foot sphere, continuously guiding fire origin energy into it. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, 12 hours had gone by. This kind of brutal refining consumed an unimaginable amount of strength. Wang Lin could not maintain it for long. If it continued, not only would his own origin energy be exhausted, even the celestial origin energy he had obtained from devouring dozens of celestials would eventually run dry. After 12 hours, Wang Lin's eyes suddenly shone brightly. He released a low roar and waved his hand. The massive sphere of magma instantly exploded apart, scattering into countless burning fragments across the sky. At this moment, the broken sword could no longer withstand the terrifying heat. It melted completely. Wang Lin's second origin soul immediately devoured the melted sword and returned to Wang Lin's body. Master Void and All-Seer's souls also returned to the 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. Wang Lin closed his eyes and cultivated silently for a brief moment. Within his second origin soul, a crimson sword slowly condensed. It radiated an astonishing slaughter aura. With only a single thought from Wang Lin, endless slaughter energy would erupt forth. What a pity! Refining this sword consumed too much of the slaughter energy within it. Fewer than 1 million strands remain. I will need to continue cultivating it and replenish the rest. Wang Lin opened his eyes and slowly exhaled. Then he slapped his bag of holding. A streak of black light flew out and transformed into a trident before him. Wang Lin stared quietly at the trident. But at that exact moment, his expression suddenly changed. He slowly looked upward. Guilt and sorrow instantly filled his eyes. I still must give him an explanation for this matter. Wang Lin sighed softly. He stored the trident away and vanished. Not far from Wang Lin's planet was another cultivation planet. It was also one of the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect's primary worlds. Countless fiery red mountains covered the planet, making it appear exceptionally beautiful. At this moment, a woman was kneeling atop the highest peak. She was extremely beautiful, yet bitterness filled her expression. She knelt there motionlessly. Before her stood a black stone statue of Wang Lin. Behind the statue was the entrance to a cave, its interior pitch black. Beside the statue sat a youth dressed entirely in black. His expression was cold and indifferent. He never once glanced at the kneeling woman and merely cultivated in silence. "I beg you, let me enter." The woman's eyes were filled with tears as she spoke to the young man in black. The black-clothed youth opened his eyes and replied coldly, "No." The woman's body trembled. She was about to speak again, but at that moment a sigh echoed across the heavens. Ripples spread across the mountaintop. Wang Lin stepped out from within them. The moment he appeared, the black-clothed youth immediately became respectful and excited. He rose quickly and bowed. 13 greets master." Wang Lin nodded slightly. When the woman saw Wang Lin, the bitterness in her eyes deepened, but she remained silent. Wang Lin gently said, "Ling take me to see your great-grandfather." "Great-grandpa. He does not have much time left." Tears streamed down Ling Er's face. The guilt within Wang Lin's eyes deepened further. He waved his sleeve. In an instant, both he and Ling Er disappeared. After they left, a pair of eyes slowly lit up within the dark cave atop the mountain. Wang Lin's original body opened its eyes as well. Deep guilt could also be seen there. The star-marked sable rested upon his shoulder, occasionally licking his neck. No one could see that Wang Lin was seated atop countless bones. The scene was eerie beyond words. Within the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect, atop the city walls of a massive city, a white-haired old man sat drinking wine. He appeared unimaginably aged. Madness filled his eyes. "Second brother. Third brother. Big brother wronged you both. I am sorry." The old man poured wine into his mouth. Yet the wine flowed from the corners of his lips and mixed with the tears on his face. He was drinking both wine and tears together. Because of those tears, the wine no longer tasted sweet. It had become unbearably bitter. Combined with the bitterness already inside his heart, it no longer seemed as though he was drinking wine. It was as though he was drinking his own sorrow. Ripples appeared behind him. Wang Lin and Ling Er stepped out. When Ling Er saw the old man's appearance, tears flowed even more fiercely from her eyes. She immediately tried to take away the wine jug, but Wang Lin stopped her. Wang Lin let out a quiet sigh. He walked beside the old man and sat upon the city wall. Casually, he picked up a jug of wine and took a large gulp himself. Meanwhile, within the central region of the Alliance star system, deep inside territory controlled by the Alliance forces, a group of several dozen mosquito beasts flew across the stars. Their eyes were completely crimson. A strange fragrance spread through the starry sky. Only mosquito beasts could smell it. It was as though the beasts were being controlled by that scent. Ahead of them stood 3 young men dressed in yellow robes. Each held a strange incense burner while carefully luring the mosquito beasts forward. One of them spoke, greed flashing through his eyes. "I never expected giant mosquito beasts to exist within the Alliance star system. If the 3 of us bring these giant mosquito beasts back to the Elder, we will receive enormous rewards." The way he spoke was slightly different from cultivators of the Alliance star system. It was as though he had come from somewhere far beyond the Alliance itself. Wang Lin and Master Yi Chen sat in silence, each holding a jug of wine. From time to time they looked toward the blood-red sky in the distance, where scorching waves of heat rolled endlessly across the land. Dead, third brother is dead. Second brother's origin soul has scattered. Master Yi Chen bitterly poured a mouthful of wine into his throat before, flinging the empty jug aside. The three Chen brothers, now I alone remain. Wang Lin quietly drank his wine. After a long silence, he spoke in a low voice. Back then, I should never have asked the three of you to come with me. Master Yi Chen suddenly turned. Hatred filled his eyes. His expression became savage as he stared at Wang Lin. Wang Lin met his gaze without speaking. The two men stared at each other for a very long time. Gradually, the ferocity in Master Yi Chen's eyes faded. What remained was only exhaustion and bleak sorrow. Without turning around, he spoke to Ling behind him. Ling bring more wine. Then he lifted his head and looked toward the burning red world before him. Cultivators walk against the heavens. Since we chose this road with no return, death was always inevitable. I understand this. Master Yi Chen lowered his head and looked at the scattered wine jugs around him. He picked up several, only to find them all empty. When you invited the three of us to the demon spirit land, you never forced us. We went willingly. I understand that too. Wang Lin silently handed over the wine in his hand. Master Yi Chen grabbed it and drank deeply. Tears slowly flowed down his face as he muttered hoarsely, I hate myself for being too weak. I hate myself for having no way to revive my two brothers. I hate that I cannot avenge them. I have failed them both. At that moment, Ling returned from the city carrying more wine. Her eyes were red. Quietly, she placed the wine beside Master Yi Chen. Wang Lin lifted another jug and drank it dry in a single breath. A decisive light appeared in his eyes. Master Yi Chen, I bear responsibility for this matter. Had I not brought the three of you, this tragedy would never have happened. The one who killed your brothers was ancient devil Tajia. One day soon, you will personally kill ancient devil Tajia and avenge them. Master Yi Chen trembled. Excitement suddenly appeared in his grief-stricken eyes. Is that true? Wang Lin placed the wine jug on the ground and looked into the distance, as though remembering something from a faraway past. This is my promise to you. After a moment of silence, he slowly spoke again. Life and death fill the path of cultivation. Once you truly see through them, you can endure them. At least your two brothers still have someone who remembers them. Cultivators like us walk constantly beside death. Every time calamity descends, countless cultivators perish. But how many are remembered? And how many are forgotten forever? From the moment we stepped onto this unnatural road, we were destined to see through life and death, our own life and death, and the life and death of others. When I once returned the ashes of an old friend to his homeland, I heard a child singing a nursery rhyme. Wang Lin's voice became soft and distant. The apricot tree blooms with white flowers. The daughter will not marry into a Taoist family. Last year, second Lang climbed the mountain. A year later, eldest Lang returned as bones. The daughter weeps beside the coffin and takes the dead as family. The apricot tree blooms with white flowers. Children should never become Taoists. If asked my age, I still have not found my Tao. The dog barks, the cat scratches, frightening the Taoist back home. A simple nursery rhyme, yet it reveals the sorrow of cultivators completely. Master Yi Chen, see through it. Once you do, the pain will lessen. Wang Lin's voice remained calm, yet it carried endless melancholy. After speaking, he stood and walked away. His departing figure appeared even lonelier and more desolate than Master Yi Chen himself. Master Yi Chen stared at Wang Lin's back, as those words echoed through his mind again and again. Suddenly, he shouted, "Have you seen through it?" Far away, Wang Lin's body trembled slightly. He stopped walking, but he did not turn around. After a long silence, he softly replied, "I have not." Bitterness filled those words. Then Wang Lin became a ray of light and disappeared into the sky. Time slowly passed. After leaving Master Yi Chen, Wang Lin sat alone beside a volcano. Memories from the past drifted slowly through his mind. He had never truly seen through life and death. Because of that, he had endured more than 1,000 years of loneliness and pain. And he would continue enduring it, carrying that pain within his heart. He walked endlessly upon the boundless road of cultivation. Beside him, only the crackling sounds of burning fire and rising black smoke echoed from the volcano. Everything else was silent. Within that silence, a crystal coffin rested before Wang Lin. Inside the coffin lay a woman. Her skin remained clear and flawless. She did not appear dead. She merely looked asleep. Her beauty was not enough to topple kingdoms, nor did she possess a world-shaking temperament. Yet in Wang Lin's eyes, no woman beneath the heavens could compare to her. Wang Lin gently touched the crystal coffin with his right hand. His gaze softened completely. Looking at the woman inside, he felt as though he had returned once more to planet Suzaku. Wang Lin still could not see through life and death. At this moment, the world itself seemed to vanish. Only he and the woman inside the coffin remained. Loneliness filled him as he silently gazed at the woman who had accompanied him for more than 1,000 years. Yet within that loneliness, he found a trace of warmth. The warmth was faint, almost non-existent, yet it merged into his origin soul like a fragile illusion across the river of life and death. Though it might disappear at any moment, he still refused to look away. For more than 1,000 years, the woman within the coffin had been Wang Lin's only hope. As he looked at her, he gradually forgot everything else. When you awaken, we will find a place hidden from the world. We will quietly settle there. A rare, gentle smile appeared on Wang Lin's face. This tiny wish was the greatest desire in his heart. Back then, I did not understand, but now, I do, Wang Lin murmured softly. A deep sadness slowly spread from his body. In the past, he had never truly understood the feelings between Zhou Yi and Qing Shuang. But after more than 1,000 years of cultivation, after endless solitude and suffering, he finally understood. It was a kind of spiritual hope, a kind of persistence, a kind of struggle, and also an unwillingness to surrender. Remember this, even if the heavens themselves want you dead, I will still bring you back. Heaven-defying determination erupted from Wang Lin's eyes. Among the planets belonging to the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect, volcanoes were the most common sight. These volcanoes were formed under special conditions. Thick magma erupted from them frequently. Whenever a volcano erupted, the earth trembled violently. Deafening rumbling shook the heavens. Black smoke covered the sky and lava rained down upon the land. It looked like the end of the world. The disciples of the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect had long grown accustomed to such scenes, but Wang Lin had witnessed very few eruptions himself. At this moment, muffled roars echoed from the volcano beneath him. The sounds grew increasingly violent, yet Wang Lin ignored everything. At this moment, only Li Muan existed in his eyes. The rumbling intensified. It became like the furious roar of an ancient beast hidden within the volcano itself. Black smoke burst upward and spread madly across the sky, covering the crimson glow overhead. The entire world fell into darkness. Soon after, the volcano roared even louder. A beam of red light suddenly shot into the heavens. Then a massive pillar of lava erupted upward. From afar, the sight was shocking beyond words. Wang Lin sat directly at the mouth of the volcano. Rocks from the crater edge were dragged into the magma and blasted into the sky. The scorching lava surged upward less than 10 feet before Wang Lin's face. Terrifying heat waves spread outward like a raging fire dragon. The world seemed to collapse around him. Yet Wang Lin never once raised his head. He only gazed silently at the crystal coffin as though nothing else mattered. The volcano erupted continuously. The earth cracked apart. Lava flooded everything. Like furious waves, molten magma poured down the mountain endlessly. Soon the entire volcano became submerged beneath rivers of lava. The lava spread outward without end. At that moment, molten fire fell from the sky like rain. Rivers of lava covered the earth. The world became black and red. black from the smoke that filled the heavens, red from the endless rivers of magma. Wang Lin softly spoke. Beautiful, isn't it? This is the power of mountain crumbles. I waited many days for this volcano to erupt. One ear, accompany me as I comprehend Baifan's fourth spell, mountain crumbles. Wang Lin murmured quietly while looking at the lava raining from the sky. At that moment, even more violent rumbling erupted from beneath the volcano. The mountain erupted again. The trembling earth spread outward, causing another distant volcano to shake violently. Soon that volcano also began spewing smoke and lava into the sky. Wang Lin slowly closed his eyes. Within his mind appeared the image of Qing Shui casting mountain crumbles inside the slaughter realm. In truth, back in the demon spirit land, Wang Lin had already grasped a faint trace of enlightenment regarding mountain crumbles from a volcanic eruption there. But the feeling had been weak, and because danger surrounded him constantly, he had never possessed the time to fully comprehend it. However, the one thing the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect never lacked was volcanoes. Now, after gaining greater fire origin energy, Wang Lin's understanding of the mountain crumbles spell left behind by Qing Shui deepened more and more.